Now I give the floor to Gábor Nemes, who is the member of the presidency of the Canticle of Sun Association, who is the moderator of this session. The Eucharist joins heaven and earth. It embraces and penetrates all creation. Thus, the Eucharist is also a source of light and motivation for our concerns for the environment, directing us to be stewards of all creation. The quotation is from Pope Francis' encyclical Laudato Si. Two extracts from the Article 236. Ladies and gentlemen, dear pilgrims, dear guests, with great respect and honor and love, I welcome you to the 52nd International Eucharistic Congress, One Church, One World, the meeting for the protection of creation, the environmental faculty, which is an event of the Hungarian Catholic Bishops' Conference, Catholic Social Days, briefly Kottás, organized by the Caritas in Veritate Committee of the Hungarian Catholic Bishops' Conference. The invited contributor is the Canticle of Sun Association for Creation Care, which is just 10 years old this year. Let me introduce, in the next 60 minutes, we'll include an international and national perspective on the world of environmental protection in the form of presentation and roundtable discussion. First of all, with a great respect, I invite Bishop János Székely, President of the Caritas in Veritate Committee of the Hungarian Catholic Bishops' Conference, to give his welcome address. Laudato Jesus Christus. With a great affection, I welcome all the dear participants, bishops, brother priests, monks, nuns, sisters. Let me greet Madalena Noscik with a special love, who is the European leader of the Laudato Si movement. I greet everything who is active on the field of the creation care during the last decades, and I greet all of you. For today, we wrote a small prayer, and we should start this meeting with this prayer. I pray in Hungarian, but you can speak on your own language. And the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, on this creation day, at the International Eucharistic Congress in Budapest, united with all Christians worldwide during the season of creation, we give you thanks for the life and the richly laid table of our created world in the home for all. We give you thanks for the crystal clear water springing from the mountains, for the diversity of animals and plants, for the stunning beauty of our world. We confess that we neglected our duty to safeguard this world and take good care for our fellow creatures. Help us now in our conversion to clean this common home, to heal it and to protect it, so that we may pass it on safety to future generations. Give us your wisdom and strength as we work for the solution of the present crisis of disease, hunger, poverty, conflicts, and destruction, for healthy people and healthy planet. Bless our resolve and efforts so that the needs of the poor can be met at the table of your creation. Open and and soften our hearts so that we share our bread with the hungry. Bless and inspire our families to be one in charity, faith, and hope, praising your glory through your Son, Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. The topic of this workshop is our common home, the earth, the protection of our common home, the earth. How all this topic connects to the Eucharist. If we take the Eucharist in a credible way, then the whole Christ is taken to us, his idea, his spirit. We can form our life according to this spirit. If we would like to take Christ's body in a credible way, we have to break the bread of our own life for many. It is not enough to break the bread on the altar. We have to break it for the poorest, and we have to protect the created world, that every family has healthy bread and water. Many of you think perhaps that the creation care is a kind of green movement. This is not true at all. In the one hand, today's man, it is the greatest challenge for modern man. The climatic change, the destruction of soils, the destruction of biodiversity is a terrible situation, and it's not because of that, but because the Bible, the one of these most central message is the protection of our earth. God entrusted this word to work on it and to protect it. We are responsible for this world. We are responsible for the Creator to protect his wonderful work. Saint Francis sang about the beauty of the creation, which begins by Laudato Si. Be blessed, you and your every creation of yours. The sun who gives the days, he is beautiful and strong. He is so shining. Your image is high. Can we protect it wonderful, the created word of God, or we destroy it with our selfishness, or we exploit it? We are responsible for the next generations. For them, we have to hand over a viable and beautiful planet. We are responsible for the poor of the earth, because the destruction of environment afflicts them. Jewish rabbis all noticed that the biblical creation story contains this half sentence 10 times. And God spoke. In the words of the rabbis, God created the world in 10 words. They recognized a profound connection between creation and 10 commandments. These two words, these words are completely the same. A wonderful divine order is created into the world. This wonderful harmony should be realized by man, and that's how we should live and develop our personality. If we don't live in harmony with ourselves, with the nature, we'll soon destroy ourselves and our planet very soon. It would be very important to realize for the selfish man of today that freedom is not despotism. This is not a complete isolation from reality, because we are reasonable. The natural aim of our reason is truth. We always have to recognize truth with our reason, our will. The natural aim of our will, of our freedom, is the good, which is the true value. Everybody tries to form their lives according to this freedom, to this truth. True freedom means recognizing the beautiful divine order. Protecting the created world is not about fighting climate change, not only about protecting biodiversity, but about protecting the most important actor in the created world, human beings. This is included in our cells. The law of nature is not an obstacle to our freedom. It is for us. We have to protect the created world. It doesn't only mean that we fight against the climatic change and we have to protect the biodiversity, but we have to protect human beings as well. Human beings who have reason and freedom, who is the image of the Creator. As Pope Benedict has said, the book of nature is one and indivisible, encompassing the environment, life, gender, the family, social relations. That's how we are created for love and marriage, and love wants us that our marriage would be fertile. And this is the natural aim of love and natural fulfillment of love, to protect the created life. It means that we protect society, we protect human relationship according to love. It is quite false where we say that we protect animal and plant species, but we don't respect the human life from the beginning until the end. From the natural conception until natural death. Even if we protect biodiversity, but we don't protect culture, diversity of culture, the possibility of human flourishing for every human being born onto the world. One of the main obstacles to the preservation of our earth is our utilitarian economic system, which puts the logic of free competition above all. That's why the created world is regarded as raw material. According to the social doctrine of the Church, the aim of the economic activity is not profit, not money, but the well-being and fulfillment of man, of every man, and of the whole man, soul and body, the fulfillment of the whole man. The economy is not a moral domain. It shouldn't be governed by free competition or by supremacy of strong, but by justice, solidarity, and common good. The ecological crisis calls on humanity to transcend the culture of consumption, selfishness, indifference, and security, and to learn more and more the culture of love and justice. According to the Christian teaching, the right to private ownership is not the utmost value, but the right for everyday living is the utmost value. If somebody disposes a private property, he only owns it during his earthly life, but he is responsible for any people living on earth. It would be important to elaborate the limits of of our right to private property. We, Christian, we dream about a world where each of us, where mankind can hand over heritage for everybody, not only to the children of the very rich people, where bank owners, the profit of a bank owner is valued 10,000 times bigger than the profit of a nurse who worked half a night next to the sick people. The protection of creation is unimaginable without a just world of humanity. Pope Francis invites us to undergo ecologic conversion. He says that this is not an option for Christian people, but this is our common obligation. If we'd like to credibly celebrate the Eucharist, this broken bread, then we have to protect our earthly bread, clear water, the beauty of our planet, and we have to break our bread for poor people and for the hungry. Thank you very much for your attention. Now listen to the witnesses of the Canticle of Sun Association.
Köszönjük szépen, Püspök atya, és
thank you,
felkérem
Bishop
Székely.
Now I invite
a Laudato Si mozgalom képviseletében, hogy
Magdalena Noszczyk, European Program Coordinator, to help her presentation concerning the international perspective of Laudato Si movement.
Hope that you can hear me from here. I'm really excited to be here with you, and I would like to pass my special greetings to the Bishop who led us in this wonderful prayer, which was prepared for the season of creation. And I would like to also pass my greetings and blessings for the volunteers and for scouts who are supporting this beautiful event that you have here in Hungary. I'll just start my timer. And I am representing Laudato Si movement, which is formally named Global Catholic Climate Movement, that I really like a lot because it explains what it means. So we are the global movement of the Catholics in the whole world, but not only. We have also a lot of members, a lot of member organizations and grassroots movements who are not Catholics. We're trying to be as inclusive as it's possible. So we welcome all the Christian denominations from all over the world to take even more care about our creation and to take care of the poor, to help people to hear the cry of the poor and the cry of the earth. My presentation is connected to this Eucharistic Congress as we still are looking at this very important piece of bread. And I would like to tell you in my presentation about how we can pray and how we can act in times of climate crisis. I know that people don't like the word crisis because we're using it a lot. COVID crisis, economical crisis, biodiversity crisis. But it has its roots in this climate crisis, which is caused by our greed of people who want more and more. And I prepared my presentation together with my colleagues from the movement. So we have a lot of pictures of local breads in the world, but also we listed challenges connected to the climate crisis. Who are we? We're the global movement. We are trying to collect as many people as possible who are willing to serve their time and energy and their prayers for the care of creation. We're coming from all corners of the world, and we believe that together, we're a really big number of Catholics worldwide, we can actually act on the climate change in a way that we can push the decision makers to take bold decisions. And at the end of my presentation, I will invite you to do something so you can actually join our movement by one simple and easy act of your kindness. So again, who we are? We're a spirit-led movement, and we are trying to bring all the Catholics from all corners in the world. And we are already an umbrella movement with over 700 organizations in the world, from the Catholic Church, from other Christian churches, and with a lot of small local groups, actually on each continent. What's our mission? It's to inspire and to mobilize the Catholic community to care for our common home and achieve climate and ecological justice. And we invite, as I said before, not only Catholics, but people from all churches who really feel this urge to do something about the climate crisis. And we're doing a lot of activities, but what I would like to introduce to is our Laudato Si animators programs, because we're growing bigger and bigger. And right now here, we do have this momentum in Hungary, and I would like to announce that we are preparing Hungarian course for Laudato Si animators. So this is how we create our movement, through engaging programs and experiential learning. And I warmly welcome you to join the course. It will be in your language, and I hope that you will enjoy it. And we use this Catholic social teaching approach, which is see, judge, and act. And in our movement, in our grassroots, there's a lot of opportunities that you can do, and you can engage in our movement. So we have Laudato Si animators programs. We have Laudato Si circles, so small groups who can pray for the whole creation, and those groups also, they act locally. And we have Laudato Si chapters. Like, for example, in Europe, we have already chapters in Spain, Italy, in Poland, and we are hoping to have Hungarian one, as the movement here is growing. And also we have a lot of member organizations worldwide. Give us this day our daily bread. That's the part from the Holy Father prayer, and I believe you all know that. What if I tell you that we do not have bread anymore? That we do not have seeds to make a dough, to make flour, to make then a dough, and then to bake a bread? Can you imagine that? I'm from Poland, I'm Polish. I cannot imagine a day without bread. That's something basic that we eat. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the world without bread? Actually, there's a lot of people who are struggling to have one. And I will walk you through my slides to show you what kind of challenges we have because of the climate crisis. And you will see at the bottom the percentage of people who are undernourished. So you will see how many people in those regions are starving, and they actually do not have their daily bread. And if we do not stop this climate crisis, we will have even more people starving. So we have wonderful focaccia here from Italy, which is beautifully made, and some challenges that we have in our region, in Europe. So economics still depending on fossil fuels. And we have a lot of hesitation and weak declarations about coal phase out. And of course, you could experience these droughts and floods in many countries in Europe, for example, this summer. We have Asia and this beautifully made Indian bread and chapati. And again, over there, we still are dependent on fossil fuels. We have really extensive monoculture agribusiness, a lot of deforestation, and social injustice and exclusion, and which impacts climate change. And there are some islands that they are going to disappear because of the sea level rise. Oceania, and this bread served on the leaf is from the Fiji Islands. We have a lot of mining and drilling of the ocean floor and riverbank, soil and riverbank erosion. And again, a lot of islands that can disappear because of the sea level rise. North America, and some rolls and toasts and breakfast bread. And again, mining, drilling, and burning of fossil fuels that lead to health problems, toxic air, and global warming pollution, and ocean acidification. And some bolillos from South America. So again, economies which sustained by extractive activities, such as exploitation of fossil fuels and mining, and that cause air, soil, and water pollution, and large social inequalities that make a fair transition difficult. And some roles from Brazil, and you probably have heard about the situation in Brazil, and there's a lot of agribusiness lobby going on, which has its impact on indigenous peoples, and monoculture and cattle raising major social and environmental impact. Africa and chapati again from Kenya, and some even more challenges as desertification of the continent, deforestation, especially in the Congo River, in Congo Basin, coal mining and other minerals extraction, and building new oil pipelines, which is really crazy in 21st century that we still are dependent on fossil fuels. And right now, it's time to act. And all of you can do something. Because as Pope Francis says, all talents and all skills of each of you is needed to stop this climate madness. So I can right now invite you to go to this website, which is healthyplanetandpeople.org, and you can sign the petition that will be presented at the climate conference in Glasgow this year at the beginning of November. And our Pope Francis is going there, and he's going to show how many signatures we collected and how many Catholics are engaged in this topic. So you can go to this website and you can simply sign it. And we hope that we can build this big pressure on our politicians, on the COP representatives who are coming for this conference. And I do believe that each of you can actually have this 10 seconds to open your smartphones and to act on this. And if you would like to know something more about our movement, I will stay after this presentation and I can talk with you if you like. And I do believe and I pray that we can all save our planet. Thank you very much.
Magdalena, thank you very much. Köszönjük szépen, dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much. And now I kindly ask Csaba Nemes to take the floor for the roundtable discussion. He is going to lead the roundtable discussion, and I kindly ask the members of the movement to take their seats around the table, because in the coming minutes we're going to focus on Hungarian issues, and we're going to speak about the protection of the creation. As mentioned before, our association has recently celebrated its 10th anniversary. Okay, so the mic is working. Thank you very much. I kindly welcome all of you on behalf of the Sun Creation Association. So I have colleagues, some of them are founding members, some of you are new members, and some of you, so there are some with whom I haven't met before, only online perhaps. So we have various participants in this roundtable discussion, but I kindly ask everyone to introduce themselves. But first, I turn to Father Nobilis Marius, because he is the person who created this association, and not only the founding father, but also the spiritual father of this association, if I may put it like that. And I kindly ask you, Mario, to speak about the establishment of this association and also introduce yourself, if you will. Thank you very much. Welcome. And it's great that there are so many who are interested in this topic. My name is Marius Nobilis from Székesfehérvár. I was ordained in 1991, and when the story started that led to the establishment of this association, of course, there are many roots, tiny little roots in other stories, but back in 2003, I became General Secretary and later President of a very important organization. And well, back then, on the one hand, we started to find the topics with which it would be worth dealing with in the Hungarian Catholic Church, and that was part of the story. You know, as the director of this institution, I pretty often visited the Austrian Preachers' Days. You know, they are a similar organization to ours, but of course it's much older, and they have an annual conference of priests, just like what we have in Hungary. It's a pastoral conference, and in 2007, the topic of this conference was Schöpfungsverantwortlichkeit. So it means that our responsibility towards the creation. And then I thought, okay, it's an important topic. Well, it is. But, you know, in the church, instead of Eucharist, instead of the Mass, instead of the catechesis, we shouldn't deal with this topic. So it might not be suitable. However, of course, I was there. I participated at the conference. And at this conference, a very important approach was mentioned from the Austrian brothers. And they didn't say, oh, what's fantastic, what the world is doing, and there are so many green associations, and let's follow the world, and let's create something modern, something popular. But they raised the question. The world has a very significant problem, namely the environmental problem. And does Jesus have anything to say about this? Of course he does, because in the gospel, the gospel should be the answer to everything. And if he wishes to do so, then Jesus would like to do so through us, through the church. So then the next question arises, what should we do? We should be the right answer to the issues of the world, to the environment environmental issues. And then I said, okay, in this manner, I like it. And at that point, we started to deal with this topic in our institution. And then came the next step. The Hungarian Diocesan Congress back in 2008 decided to just publish a letter about our responsibility towards the world. And our bishop not simply started the drafting of this letter, but Sister Laura, she is the most important person who drafted this letter, but the bishop also has various groups to create various additional publications. So they were also asked, our institution was asked to just, to publish a booklet what the pastors, what the priests should do in order to achieve our goal. And I looked around because I knew that I wouldn't be able to write this publication alone, and I was trying to find some professionals, and this is how I found, for example, Csaba, and then Gábor also joined the team. And then I realized, and this was the most magical moment, that there are so many people in the Hungarian Catholic Church who deal with this topic at the highest level, and they really wanted the Church to ask them what they would say to the Church as faithful, as Catholic people, what they would do, what they would consider to be done. So then we connected this group and we published this booklet. I think it's available at Pastoral. This is a brown-colored booklet. It's about our responsibility towards the created world. And when we were ready, then we said, okay, so this group should continue its work, so we shouldn't dissolve, because we have understood what our mission is, and we should propagate this message of ours. So then we started to work as a working group, and then we realized that, okay, in environmental protection there are so many activities belonging to NGOs and everyday people, and maybe a nation-level institution might have its limitations, and it would be nice to have an NGO kind of organization, and this is how our establishment took place. So the layman brothers and sisters agreed on establishing this association. Of course, we need to whisper to them a bit, I'm sure you would like to establish an association like that. And then the answer was, of course, yeah, we do want. So this happened in 2011. So we've celebrated our 10th anniversary. And then the Caritas in Veritate committee was also established at the level of so this is the official organization from the side of the church, from the side of the Hungarian church, and our association is a grassroots organization, so to say, as a bottom-up organization focusing on the experiences of the laymen, and of course we have lots of professionals who at the same time are Catholic and faithful. But of course, we do want to have as many parishes as possible to join our association, because this is not a Budapest organization, but this is a nationwide organization, or at least we would like to become a nationwide organization, and hopefully such activities would start locally, because we need to see locally what our duties are. Thank you very much, Mario. Well, I met this phenomenon back in 2002 because the Academy organized a conference and I had the opportunity to participate there and deliver a lecture. However, I lost this goal, and although I was dealing with environmental protection, but this Christian approach, or not only Christian, but even more, I haven't met for a long time. And you know, it's grace from God that upon the request of Mario, but I'm sure that through Sister Laura, it was good to invite me. And you know, it was fantastic feeling to meet people of a similar mindset, and you know, people who would like to achieve the same going on. So, and as Father Mario mentioned, we started to work in our association, and I kindly ask our members, the members of our round table, first Clary, so how she joined us. What does it mean for you, to be part of this association? And what do you want to achieve in the coming 1, 2, or even more years? And of course, this is going to be my question to the other members of the roundtable discussion as well. Thank you very much. My name is Klára Sósné-Erdő from Budakalász, and maybe it's not usual because I joined the association from the Caritas with Laudato Si and the message of Laudato Si. I met around 4 to 5 years ago for the first time, and then at an event in Bálna with with an organization, I heard this vocation, and then I had the feeling that, okay, so Caritas should have its connection with the protection of the creation, and very important lectures were held there that helped me a lot. For the first time we might not understand what the relation could be, but in Laudato Si, poverty, social equality are really highlighted, and then I'm sure that we can really understand what the connection might be with Caritas. It focused on resharing properties or reutilization. Then, of course, we will understand that there are so many ways to just join this goal, this objective. So, I had the feeling that I need to do something, and, this is not something that is optional. I really must do something. Then, I did know that our Caritas organization works very well in Budakalász, and we should do something else with this organization. So first, we created smaller circles, so to say, under the name of Ökumene, and they wanted to exchange experiences, they wanted to exchange knowledge among each other, and then we created a bigger, topical week, so to say, connected to the week of Saint Francis and the week of creation, and that was a time when I got in contact with the association, with the Cardinal of Sun Creation Care Association, and then we also managed to organize the exhibition, the pictures of which you can see right now. I think it's really important for me to belong to this association, and what I experienced for the first time was that perhaps people at the first time do not really understand what it's all about, and you might feel as if you were an alien. There is an association in the church that strengthens us, but it's really important because you will understand that it's worth doing so. You really have to become stronger, and this community, this association is really important. So this is what I get as being a member. And there might be many who don't understand this, so thank you very much for referring to this. So for 10 years, or even more 10 years, there is a cooperation between our association and the week of the creation, the programs of the Creation Week. So this week is usually organized around the 4th of October, so the name day of Francis, or the day of Saint Francis, and I do hope that you are going to search for these programs and participate in these programs. So I turn to our next speaker. So how did you get in contact with our association? How do you feel, and what are your plans with us and with this topic?
My name is Németh Andrea. I'm the head of secretary of the Canticle of Sun Association. Before answering your question, I'd like to complete the last sentence of Csaba, that teremtésünnepe.hu you can reach the booklets for the week of creation and the newest issue, which is about the renewal of the common house. Yes, and the week of creation is always the last week of September, and between the first week of October and the last week of September. And then how I get in touch with the association. In 2000, I'm a member of the association. I'm the leader of the secretariat from this 2015, who Laudato Si. This is the time of the publication of the Laudato Si. That's when I began to lead the secretariat, and I became the member of the association of that organization. I was completely committed. The first great challenge was the Hungarian translation, the presentation of the Hungarian translation of the Laudato Si. It was a great breakthrough in the life of our association concerning our popularity. Then we had a lot of new members with us, and since then new members come to us, and they are committed people for creation care. Our aim is to raise the awareness of environmental protection of the communities. It means that we help the parishes to organize their events in a conscious way from the point of view of environmental protection and creation care. The parish where we go seems to slowly become a partner for us, and we have to make efforts, but it's worth doing in this direction. I encourage every one of you to do efforts in your parishes. If there are 70 cups, for example, the first communicant should drink from glass cups, and it will not break. If it's it's okay, it breaks. But we should not buy plastic cups in that case, for example, because they will be dropped in waste. We keep on working on a lot of projects concerning cooperation with Caritas and Veritate community. We train referents for the dioceses who can also help communities in their activity for creation care. Each year we take part in the youth encounter in Nagymaros village in every spring and autumn. The booklets of the week of creation care are we edit together with our ecumenical brothers and sisters. I think it's quite important to regularly publish on the web page of the Hungarian Catholic Church, and every 4 weeks in Radio Maria we have 1.5 hour long program. Thank you, Andrea. You mentioned the web page. Let me mention another web page. The web page of the Canticle Sun Creation Care Association, teremtésvédelem.hu. You can have an easy access to it. You mentioned the publication of the Laudato Si encyclical. It was 2015, which was quickly published in Hungarian. If you didn't read it on this web page, you can read it. You can download it. And I propose it to you, I recommend it to you, because it is full of beautiful, practical, and easily readable messages. If you read some encyclical, compared to them, it's quite easy to read. It has a reason, there's a cause of it. I think it's important for all of us. What you can see on the screens, this is our exhibition of the Hymn of Tomorrow. It can be found on our web page. Now I address Esther, so please tell us why you are here, what would you like to do, and what creation care means to you. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Dorányné Eszter Szabó. We are quite different. I came from a completely different side. I came from the lay environmental protection anxiety. To you, my small smallest child was born in the year of the publication of the Laudato Si, but I was aware of the birth of my smallest child at that time. But when she grew older, I got a lot of information about the environmental crisis, what happens, what really happens around us. I saw my role all in it. I saw that I have coffee in my cup every day. Several times I eat chocolate a day. If I get tired, I go to do the shopping, and I buy some dresses. I don't know where they were made. I'm quite part of this crisis. And when I realized all this, we try to change the way of life radically. We try to radically change the way of life. We will be happier. Our life became simplest. We had more time and more money. We were quite happy with that. And I started to think about two things. One, if I see that and I can do it, why my neighbor cannot? And then the desire came that I have to transmit this knowledge to her. And then I started to think about the fact that on a personal level there are a lot of causes of this environmental crisis. I think this is over. We consume much more than we need. This is the simplest cause of all this crisis. I started to think about the fact that it completely coincides with the doctrine, the teaching of the church, the social teaching of the church. I was not aware of the fact, but I found it, and after a very deep personal crisis, I just found the teremtésvelem.hu, the website, the encyclical Laudato Si, and I quickly called Andrea, who is here among us, who led me to Clary, who is amongst us here, and my life completely changed. In these 2 weeks, I got new ways. I got a background basis, which a network around me, in which, in the one hand, I lived what Clary mentioned, that I'm not alone. I'm not a UFO. There are a lot of other people who think in the same way I do, and they started me in ways which opened new opportunities for me. And more or less, we know what the association means to me. This is a basis for me. This network of relationship, which can be found in Hungary, and a small story about how this network is nationwide. Some months before, on our correspondence list, one member from the countryside, he was an active person protecting bats, wrote a very interesting story about their activities. And some months later, this summer, I went to see him together with my family next to Octelek. We saw their exhibition, the fantastic works. It was so good a feeling that that's what I got from Canticle of Sun Association. That next to Octelek, at the end of the world, there is a man who thinks in the same way I do. He is especially in love. He's especially in love with the bats. He is committed to the bats. He had a huge energy invested in it. I could not be aware of that fact without the existence of Canticle of Sun. That's how I am quite thankful to Canticle of Sun. Super. Thank you, Esther. It's a fantastic thing that in some days you change your life, and we changed together. We changed your life with the help of God. I'd like we would like to be more and more together, and we'd like to have more and more participants in our association. That's why we plan one thing on our website. I hope it will succeed to do it. We had a plan to start a kind of initiative, a blog. We try to answer everything. If you write any questions, we'd like to be active, more active on this website in any kind of question about creation care, any kind of requests concerning this topic. It will soon start. Please look at the website, and we'd like to imply as many people as we can to have the same joy that Esther had. So now, Gábor, is your turn. And you can close down the conversation. Tell us how you arrived to us. What do you think about this topic, and what would you like to do together with us? You can tell you can speak about anything else. Thank you for the question. From the beginning, I take part in the work. First of all, concerning the partnership on international level as well. How I get there? I got there in the National Pastoral Care Institute. There was the first organization, the first event. Sometimes we were 7, sometimes we were 50, and as a matter of fact, I was sent by my parish priest when they were 3 or 7, and then went there. I didn't want to go there because I told myself that there were so few. Even he. I am the only one who was sent by his parish priest. It's telling that you are so green-hearted. When this association was founded, the other year we organized the International Symposium together with Konrad Adenauer founding with Péter Nemeshegyi, the father, a Jesuit father, who was speaking about Japan. He's died. And with Bishop Veres András, the international life began at the very beginning. And 1.5 years ago, during the pandemic, I saw there is a Laudato Si online course, and I told myself that with the home office I can do it in each weekends. That's how I became a Laudato Si animator, which is a training for free. And as you heard from Magdalena, it will be translated into Hungarian, and then we have to do the course together. The partnership, as Clara mentioned, the movement of 72 disciples, it's very important to imply as many people as we can from the local parishes. When the Laudato Si encyclical was published in Hungarian, we went to churches, to parishes, and we tried to speak about that. It was quite interesting, quite exciting, the place of these encyclicals, because there were encyclicals before and there are encyclicals afterwards, but Laudato Si is a special one because a whole movement was based on that. And then I would like to ask 2 minutes at the very end. I thought that you will ask 2 minutes. I would like to ask 1 minute at the very end. Okay, thank you, Gábor. But you will get to know when this animator, Laudato Si animator training will start. You will know how it works. If I get 2 minutes, I would like to give it to you. Do you have any one sentence, each of you? In what ways, what can we add in a profane way? What can we add to the transmission of sustainability? What was mentioned by Bishop Székely at the very beginning of this workshop. Do you have any idea what we can do and what we can do together? Father Mario, okay, what we can do? The title of this program is One Earth, One Bread. The environmental movement say that local communities are the most efficient for answering environmental problems. We Christians do have local communities, and these local communities nourished by the Eucharist. This is the body of Christ. The Eucharist is body of Christ. The Church is body of Christ. These communities have to realize these missions. That's what we have to help realizing the local communities to their responsibility, to their possibility to act. That's what I'd like to help this realization. But everybody needs to ask for it on behalf of the local parishes. Gabor, the floor is yours. As a matter of fact, I'd like to close this workshop with this roundtable speech conversation. Thank you for your attention, for your questions. You can ask the participants of the roundtable after the workshops. You can write to us to info@teremtésvédelem.hu. In the media, you will find us. Visit www.teremtésvédelem.hu. You are welcome to the organizations of our association, together with the University Sapientia, online or personally. We should remain in touch. This is my main message, and this is the main message of this workshop. This creation care is a community action. So a community composting unit was created with the help of one of our members. You have to be active on your locality everywhere in the world. Thank you for the participation today.